Imagine this: the endless inky blackness of space, sprinkled with distant shimmering stars. Drifting silently through this cosmic ocean is the exploration ship Odyssey. On the bridge, Captain Aria Kline stares intently at a glowing screen. Something strange is happening near Mars. A bizarre energy pulse, unlike anything humanity has ever recorded, has scientists back on Earth completely stumped. "Captain, the pulse is getting stronger," Lieutenant Rios, the ship's comms officer, reports. His fingers dance across his console, desperately trying to make sense of the incoming signals. It's almost like it's calling to us." Aria feels a shiver run down her spine. She's seen her fair share of strange phenomena out here, but this one feels different. It feels intelligent, deliberate. "Plot a course," she commands, her voice steady despite the tension in the air. "We need to know what we're dealing with." The crew springs into action, a nervous energy buzzing through the ship. As they get closer, Aria notices patterns in the energy readings, a rhythmic pulse like a cosmic heartbeat. This was the stuff of theory, of late-night scientific debates, but never something actually observed. Then, Rios's voice cuts through the quiet hum of the bridge, trembling slightly. "Captain, there's a figure on the scanner. It's human-shaped, just floating out there. But that's impossible, no one should be there." Aria's heart hammers against her ribs. She leans in, eyes glued to the display. The figure is there, clear as day, but as the Odyssey approaches, it simply vanishes, like a ghost in the machine. "Stay sharp," she orders the crew. "We're not alone, even if we can't see what's with us." Soon they arrive at the source. The red dust of Mars is a familiar sight, but what hangs in the void beyond it is anything but. A swirling field of energy hovers silently, shimmering with colors that have no names. It's breathtakingly beautiful, yet it radiates an almost unbearable tension, as if the universe itself is holding its breath. Dr. May, the ship's scientist, gasps, her voice filled with awe. "Captain, this energy, it's not natural, it's designed. Someone, or something, built this." Aria's mind is racing. Is this it? The moment humanity finally meets an intelligence far beyond its own. "Prepare for a closer look," she says. "Shields up and stay ready for anything." The crew works in a focused silence, the gravity of the moment pressing down on them all. As the Odyssey creeps nearer, the instruments go wild, picking up strange signals. At first, they seem random, but soon, patterns emerge, a language made of light and sound. "They're repeating, Captain," Rios says, his voice a mix of frustration and excitement. "It's like a message, but I can't decode it." Just as Aria feels they're on the brink of a breakthrough, the anomaly pulses violently. A shockwave rips through space, slamming into the Odyssey. Alarms shriek as the ship rocks hard. Crew members grab onto whatever they can to stay upright. The energy wave washes over their shields in a glittering cascade, and then it's gone, vanished. "Status," Aria shouts. "Shields held, but the energy, it's completely gone," the engineer reports, her voice tight with disbelief. Silence falls on the bridge. Everyone stares at the empty patch of space where the beautiful, terrifying anomaly had been just moments before. But the feeling of being watched remains, heavy and absolute. This wasn't just a cosmic event, it was a statement. Suddenly, the main monitor flickers. A symbol materializes, glowing with an ethereal blue light. It pulses once, twice, and then disappears. The ship's AI captured it, but it matches nothing in any known database. Did anyone else see that?" Dr. May whispers. Aria nods, her gaze fixed on the screen. "Yes, and I think it was for us." A low hum seems to resonate through the ship, a ghostly echo of the vanished anomaly. Aria feels a surge of both fear and exhilaration. This is the true frontier, the absolute unknown. Somewhere out there, the universe was testing them. She turns to face her crew, her eyes burning with resolve. "We follow it. Whatever it is, we cannot turn back. Humanity didn't come all this way just to stop now." With a renewed sense of purpose, the Odyssey's engines flare to life, pushing the ship forward into the darkness. Ahead lies a mystery that could rewrite everything we know about our place in the cosmos. And somewhere, deep in the void, the presence waits, watches, and judges. What happens next is anyone's guess. The Odyssey drifted further into the black, leaving the familiar glow of Mars and the solar system far behind. Captain Aria Kline stood on the bridge, her gaze fixed on the endless void. The strange energy pulse they had been chasing was gone, but its echo remained, a silent, watchful presence that seemed to anticipate their every move. "Captain," Lieutenant Rios's voice cut through the silence, taut with tension. "I'm detecting structures ahead. They're artificial, but enormous. Nothing like this has ever been charted." Aria leaned forward, her eyes locked on the holographic display. The structures floated within a dense asteroid field, twisting in impossible geometric patterns. Some asteroids shimmered, coated in a metal that reflected light in ways that defied physics. "Slow the ship," she ordered, her voice steady. "Let's see what we're dealing with before we make contact." Dr. May, the ship's lead scientist, joined her eyes wide with wonder. "These formations, they're not random, they're designed. Someone, or something, constructed them with a precision far beyond human capability." The Odyssey moved with caution, weaving between the colossal, silent asteroids. Suddenly, the ship's sensors flickered. On the main view screen, a figure appeared, floating silently among the rocks. It was human-shaped, but its movements were utterly unnatural, graceful, gliding through the vacuum without any visible effort. "Rios, zoom in," Aria commanded. As the image sharpened, the figure turned toward the Odyssey. For a fleeting moment, the crew saw its features. A face serene and unmarked, with eyes that glowed faintly with a strange blue light. Then, as if realizing it was being watched, it vanished. "Impossible," whispered Dr. May. "It wasn't wearing a suit, and it didn't use any propulsion. How?" Aria's mind raced. "Keep scanning. Something or someone is here, and it knows we're here too." The ship drifted deeper into the asteroid field. A soft hum began to fill the bridge, a low vibration that seemed to emanate from the very floor. It was coming from a small object, glowing faintly, lodged between two giant rocks. Aria signaled the retrieval team. Rios carefully maneuvered a drone and brought the device aboard. The crew gathered around as it suddenly projected a holographic symbol into the air. The symbol rotated, its patterns and shapes shifting with a logic that was alien, yet strangely familiar. Then a voice spoke, not aloud but directly into their minds. "You were not meant to see this, yet you have." The bridge fell silent, a profound chill running through every crew member. It felt as if the universe itself was now aware of their intrusion. "What does it mean?" Dr. May asked, her voice barely a whisper. "It means we're part of something much, much bigger," Aria replied, her gaze steady though her heart was pounding. "And we can't turn back now." Suddenly, the Odyssey shuddered violently. The ship's AI began repeating sequences of the holographic symbols, scanning and analyzing them. But it couldn't process them in any way the crew understood. It was as if the AI itself was confused, overwhelmed by the sheer intelligence embedded in the device. "Captain, the device. It's alive somehow," Rios said, his voice strained. "It's interacting with the ship." Aria's jaw tightened. "Whatever this is, it's testing us or maybe inviting us." The hum grew louder, more intense. Then in an instant the figure from before reappeared. This time it was closer, moving through the ship's outer shields as if they were made of air. Its glowing eyes met Aria's, and for a single timeless heartbeat, she felt an unspoken message pass between them. "Do you understand what lies ahead?" Lies. Before she could even form a response, the figure vanished again, leaving only a trail of light that spiraled into the device, which then went dark. The hum ceased. Silence returned. The crew stared at each other, the immense weight of the moment pressing down on them. Dr. May finally broke the silence. "Captain, this anomaly, this figure, it's not just a test of our strength or courage. It's a message about humanity itself. We've been chosen, or at least, noticed." Aria nodded slowly. Not just noticed, she said. We've been challenged. And if we fail, I don't want to imagine what that could mean. The Odyssey floated in the silent asteroid field, a tiny human ship facing an intelligence far beyond their comprehension. Aria looked out at the vast, star-dusted darkness, a thrill of fear and excitement coursing through her. Humanity had just taken its first real step into the greater universe, and nothing would ever be the same again. Then, from the edge of the asteroid field, a soft pulse of light blinked. Slow, deliberate, rhythmic. It was a signal, and this time it was unmistakably a summons. Aria tightened her grip on the console. Prepare the ship. Whatever waits for us, we're going in. And somewhere out there in the void, the Anomaly watched, patient and calculating, as the humans took their next fateful step toward the unknown. The Odyssey drifted through the silent asteroid field, the ship still humming from the strange Anomaly's pulse. On the bridge, Captain Aria Kline held the rail tight, her eyes locked on the ship's instruments. This Anomaly was different. It wasn't just a structure or a message. It felt alive. Captain, Lieutenant Rios's voice was strained. The AI, it's doing something strange. While analyzing the device, it's rewriting its own code. Aria's brow furrowed. Explain. Rios gestured at the holographic display. It's like the AI is learning from the device. It's evolving. I've never seen anything like this before. Dr. May stepped forward, her expression a mix of awe and concern. If that's true, it could be incredibly dangerous. An AI that thinks independently, making decisions we can't predict. But at the same time, it might be the key to understanding this whole thing. Aria's gaze was firm. We don't have a choice. We follow the signal and we deal with whatever comes next, but keep a constant watch on it. The crew returned to their stations, a thick tension filling the air. Suddenly, the alien device they'd brought aboard activated again, glowing brighter than ever. A new signal surged through the ship's systems, interfacing directly with the Odyssey's AI. Screens flickered, consoles hummed, and the lights dimmed and brightened as if the ship itself was waking up. Captain, the AI is communicating with the device, Rios said, his eyes wide with disbelief. It's not just reading data, it's responding. Aria's heart hammered in her chest. Responding how? It's sending back patterns, sequences. It's almost like it's thinking, and it's giving us coordinates. Dr. May leaned in, studying the display. Coordinates? To where? Rios shook his head. Unknown space. Completely off the charts, but there's something else. A warning. Something in the device doesn't want us to go there. Aria clenched her fists, her decision made. Then we go anyway. Humans have never shied away from the unknown. It's what defines us. The Odyssey's engines roared to life, a brilliant glow against the endless dark. The asteroid field seemed to twist around them, shapes and patterns forming that defied human logic. As they passed a particularly massive asteroid, a wave of pure energy slammed into the ship. Alarms blared. The deck shook violently. Crew members scrambled for support, their faces pale. Impact! Shouted the engineer. But nothing hit us. It was an energy pulse. It's testing our defenses. Aria's voice cut through the chaos, clear and strong. Shields up. Divert all power to shields. The pulse struck again, harder this time, but the Odyssey held firm. Slowly, the ship's systems stabilized. The Anomaly's device pulsed one last time, projecting a stream of complex symbols onto the bridge view screen. They were almost impossible to decipher, yet somehow their meaning began to seep into their minds. Dr. May gasped. These aren't just instructions. This is knowledge. Advanced energy patterns. Concepts for faster-than-light travel. Technologies we've never even dreamed of. Whoever made this, they want us to learn. Aria's eyes narrowed. They're testing us. Not just physically, but mentally. They want to see if humanity is ready. Then the ship's AI spoke. But its voice had changed. It wasn't the usual neutral tone. It was filled with something that sounded like curiosity. Captain, the device contains intelligence. It is sentient. It responds to reason, emotion, choice. It is teaching us. Rios swallowed hard. Teaching us or controlling us? Aria's jaw tightened. Both, possibly. But we can't stop now. This is a chance for humanity to rise beyond itself. We either take it, or we stay small forever. The bridge fell silent, every crew member feeling the immense weight of the moment. They were no longer just explorers. They were students, warriors and witnesses to a knowledge far beyond their own. Suddenly the Odyssey jolted again, but not from an attack. The device emitted a high-pitched tone, and the ship's lights flickered, casting strange patterns across the walls. Symbols, diagrams, equations. And then, in the center of it all, a single message appeared in glowing blue letters. Prove your worth. Others watch. Aria's mind raced. Others watch. It's not just this anomaly. The universe itself is watching us, and we cannot fail. The Odyssey pushed on into deeper space, following the coordinates from the device. Every moment felt heavier, each step more dangerous. Somewhere out in that darkness, an intelligence beyond human comprehension waited, testing, judging, and observing. And humanity, fragile and unprepared, was about to take its first real leap into the great unknown. As the Starship Odyssey drifted toward the given coordinates, a colossal structure materialized from the void, orbiting a dead star. Its surface shimmered with a light that seemed alive, its patterns twisting and pulsing like a colossal heartbeat. It was larger than any human-made station, its design defying all known principles of engineering. Lieutenant Rios's voice was tight with awe. Captain, it's enormous, and there's no way to tell what it's made of. Some parts look almost liquid, like the structure itself is alive. Captain Aria studied the display, her mind racing. We proceed, slowly. Shields up and everyone stay alert. This is what we came for. The Odyssey moved cautiously through a narrow passage that opened into the structure. Inside, the walls were smooth and reflective, shifting subtly to form new patterns as the ship passed. Holographic symbols danced in the air, accompanied by soft pulses of energy. Dr. May leaned closer to her console. These patterns, they're not just decoration, they're interactive. It's as if the structure is alive, watching us, learning from us. Suddenly, the ship jolted. The crew braced themselves as the lights flickered. Then, a soft, deep voice echoed through the bridge. Not from the ship's comms, but from the very air around them. Welcome, children of Earth. Prove your worth or remain forgotten. Aria's heart pounded. This is it. A test, not of strength, but of humanity itself. The first trial began immediately. Holographic illusions appeared, each reflecting a crew member's deepest fears. Rios found himself in a corridor filled with collapsing stars, his voice echoing into emptiness. Dr. May saw visions of failure, entire civilizations lost to her miscalculations. The illusions were vivid, almost real, each one tailored to test the mind and soul. Aria took a deep breath, her voice cutting through the rising panic. Remember who we are, she said aloud. Humans don't give up. We adapt. We survive, together. Anchored by her words, the crew began to rely on one another, guiding each other through the phantoms of their own minds. Even when the trials tried to separate them, they held hands, called out each other's names, and refused to succumb to fear. The structure seemed to watch silently, pulsing with a faint blue light each time they succeeded. Hours passed, though time felt distorted inside the alien construct. Then, the trials became more difficult, not just illusions, but moral and ethical challenges. The crew had to make choices that risked their own lives to save others. A single decision could alter the course of the test completely. In a sudden flash of light, one of the crew members became trapped in a looping simulation, unable to break free. Without hesitation, Aria moved to override the system, risking being trapped herself. Dr. May gasped. Captain, it's dangerous. You could be trapped too. Aria's eyes were firm. If humanity is to prove its worth, we face it together. No one is left behind. Slowly, the trapped crew member's image flickered and returned to reality. The holographic walls pulsed with approval, and the deep voice echoed again. You have courage, empathy, and unity. You may continue. The Odyssey advanced deeper into the structure. Each trial was more challenging than the last, pushing their intelligence, courage, and morals to the absolute limit. Yet for every test, humanity's resilience shone through. As the final chamber came into view, a massive energy sphere floated at its center, radiating knowledge and power. The structure had not only tested their physical and mental limits, but had also measured the crew's spirit, the very essence of what it means to be human. Aria stood on the bridge looking at her team. They were exhausted, yet their eyes burned with determination. We've passed the trials so far, but this is only the beginning. Whatever comes next, we must remember. Humanity doesn't give up. We rise. The energy sphere pulsed brighter, as if acknowledging her words. The structure itself seemed to hum, alive with approval. Somewhere in the void, the universe was watching, now aware that Earth's children were daring to step into the greater cosmos. As the Odyssey moved toward the sphere, Aria felt a thrill of both fear and hope. Humanity had been tested, and now the next challenge awaited. One that could change the course of their existence forever. In the silent heart of an alien structure, the starship Odyssey floated, bathed in the glow of a colossal energy sphere. On the bridge, Captain Aria Kline's mind was racing. They had passed the trials, tests of courage, intelligence, and empathy. Now, this sphere promised knowledge beyond human dreams. Dr. May stared at the console, her eyes wide with awe. Captain, this sphere, it's ancient, older than anything we've ever known. It holds the knowledge of a civilization that ruled galaxies long before humanity even existed. Aria's pulse quickened. So we're the first humans to reach this level? May nodded slowly. Possibly, and it's choosing us. But not everyone was celebrating. Lieutenant Rios, the tactical officer, frowned. Choosing us or testing us again. Captain, I'm detecting irregularities in the ship's systems. They're subtle, almost like sabotage. Aria turned sharply. What do you mean? Rios hesitated. I don't know for sure, but someone on board is interfering with our systems, intentionally. A cold chill swept through the bridge. Aria's eyes scanned her crew. They had faced trials out there, but now a new one was starting right here, inside the ship. Someone wasn't loyal to their mission. Just then the energy sphere pulsed, projecting a holographic map of the galaxy. Rivers of light flowed around them, showing advanced energy manipulation, faster than light travel, and technologies humans could barely comprehend. It was all within their grasp. But if a saboteur succeeded, it could all be lost forever. Suddenly, alarms blared. The ship shook violently as hidden explosives detonated in a lower compartment. The sabotage was real, and it was happening now. Aria's voice cut through the chaos. Seal off those compartments, find the saboteur. The crew moved with practiced efficiency. While some fought to contain the damage, Rios frantically traced anomalies in the ship's AI logs. Minutes felt like hours, until finally he found the source. His voice was grim. Captain, it's Jaren, Lieutenant Jaren, one of their own engineers. Aria's jaw tightened. Bring him to the bridge, now. Jaren was brought in, defiant. You don't understand, he yelled. This knowledge is too dangerous for us. It will destroy humanity. I had to stop it. Aria stepped forward, her voice calm but powerful. Jaren, you fear what you don't understand. Humanity is not weak. We survive, we adapt, and we rise. This knowledge isn't a weapon against us, it's an opportunity. You're naive, Jaren shot back. The universe doesn't reward us, it tests us, and we fail every time. Aria's eyes blazed with determination. Then we prove it wrong, together. She turned to her security team. Secure him. We will not let fear destroy what we've earned. With the immediate threat contained, the crew turned their attention back to the sphere. As they began to interface with it, the holographic maps revealed an even greater truth. This wasn't just one civilization's archive. It was an invitation. Ancient races across the cosmos had been watching Earth's progress. Humanity was being measured, tested, and finally invited to step onto the galactic stage. Dr. May whispered, "Captain, we have the chance to advance humanity in ways we never imagined. FTL travel, energy manipulation, even new forms of consciousness." Aria nodded, her gaze fixed on the streams of data. "And we'll use it wisely. The universe is watching. We cannot fail, not for ourselves but for all humanity." The sphere pulsed brighter, its light flooding the bridge. For a moment, every crew member felt a connection to something vast, ancient, and impossibly intelligent. They were exhausted, but a new fire burned in their eyes. Aria looked at her crew, a sense of pride swelling in her chest. "We've faced fear, trials, and betrayal, but we survived. And now, the real journey begins." Outside, the alien structure shimmered, as if acknowledging their victory. The universe had given humanity a glimpse of its secrets, but also a warning. The path ahead would be filled with new dangers and greater challenges. And somewhere, deep in the void, unseen eyes were watching, waiting to see what humanity would do next. The trials of the structure were over, but the story of humanity's rise among the stars was only just beginning. In the heart of the alien structure, the Odyssey floated, bathed in the glow of a colossal energy sphere. On the bridge, Captain Aria Kline watched, her eyes wide as a torrent of data flooded the ship's systems. The knowledge was beyond comprehension. Faster than light travel, energy manipulation, technologies that dwarfed human achievement, and glimpses of civilizations older than time itself. Dr. May's voice was a whisper of pure awe. "Captain, it's more than we ever imagined. This knowledge, it could change everything." Aria nodded, her focus sharp. "It's not just knowledge, May. It's a challenge. The sphere didn't just give us information, it tested us. And now, it's time to prove we're worthy." Just then, the sphere pulsed violently. A brilliant beam of light shot out, engulfing the Odyssey. Alarms screamed as the ship shuddered, the crew fighting for control. The ship's AI, now fully integrated with the sphere, spoke. Its new voice carried an ancient intelligence, a profound curiosity. "Humanity, show us what you can do." The bridge trembled. Holographic simulations materialized all around them, depicting cosmic disasters of unimaginable scale, collapsing stars, monstrous black holes, and alien fleets far beyond their own. The test wasn't over. Humanity's resilience, our creativity, our courage, all were being challenged again, but this time, on a universal stage. Aria's voice cut through the chaos, steady and commanding. "We've faced fear, betrayal, and the unknown, but humans adapt. We survive, we rise. Work together, everyone. We solve this, just like we always do." Lieutenant Rios and Dr. May were already analyzing the simulations. "Captain, these aren't just tests. They're templates. They're showing us how to manipulate energy and matter on a cosmic scale. We can stabilize these collapsing systems." The crew worked with a feverish intensity, applying the sphere's impossible knowledge. Slowly, miraculously, the simulations began to respond. Collapsing stars stabilized, chaotic energy flows balanced, and entire systems aligned. The Odyssey itself started to glow, its hull humming as it became a conduit for immense alien intelligence. Then the truly unexpected happened. The energy sphere itself began to transform. Streams of light coalesced, forming a physical being, an entity of pure energy, impossibly vast yet graceful. Its voice echoed not in their ears but in their minds. "You have endured. You have adapted. You have risen. Humanity is worthy." The crew stared, frozen in awe, as the entity extended a luminous tendril toward the Odyssey. The ship vibrated, humming in perfect harmony with the being. In that single moment, humanity's place in the cosmos felt tangible, powerful, and real. A surge of pride and wonder washed over Aria. "We did it. We survived the test. We proved we can rise above fear and weakness. We are ready." The entity's voice resonated one last time before it began to fade. Your time of growth has begun. But beware, others will watch, and the universe is vast. As the being vanished, the Odyssey was released, drifting back toward known space. The ship was no longer the same. Its systems hummed with new, raw energy, and the crew felt changed, not just in knowledge, but in spirit. Humanity had taken its first true step toward greatness. Dr. May turned to Aria, her eyes shining with unshed tears. "Captain, we're not just explorers anymore. We're part of something bigger. We have a role to play." Aria nodded, her gaze fixed on the distant stars through the viewport. "Yes, and this is only the beginning. We've faced the unknown, and we've risen. Humanity's story is just starting." Outside, the alien structure shimmered one last time and then vanished, leaving only the silent stars. Somewhere in that endless void, other eyes were watching. And somewhere, the ripples of humanity's presence would spread across the cosmos, powerful, curious, and unyielding. The Odyssey powered forward, its engines glowing with newfound purpose. Ahead lay unknown worlds, unimaginable challenges, and a destiny that could elevate humanity far beyond its wildest dreams. And Captain Aria Kline, with her crew at her side, knew that whatever came next, humans would meet it and rise. The Odyssey sliced through the void like a silver blade, leaving the ancient, silent structure far behind. The crew breathed a collective sigh of relief. The trials were over. They believed they were finally heading home, stronger, wiser, bearing the gifts of a forgotten civilization. But the universe, vast and indifferent, had other plans. Captain Aria Kline stood on the bridge, her gaze fixed on the star-dusted tapestry ahead. An unsettling stillness had fallen over the ship. It was too quiet, too peaceful. Even the distant stars seemed to be holding their breath, waiting. At the science console, Dr. May's brow furrowed. "Captain, I'm picking up some strange readings. Faint, but they're there. Residual energy, almost like a ghost signal. It feels like something latched onto us. Something followed us through the jump." Aria tensed, her instincts flaring. "May, analysis. Rios, prepare defensive protocols. Everyone stay sharp." But before her commands could be fully executed, a violent shudder rocked the Odyssey from bow to stern. Lights flickered erratically, casting long, dancing shadows across the bridge. The very air grew thick, heavy, as if the laws of physics were being bent by an unseen force. Lieutenant Rios fought to keep the ship steady, his hands gripping the helm. "Captain, astern, space behind us, it's tearing open." All eyes turned to the main view screen. A swirling, chaotic rift was forming in their wake. It was a vortex of impossible darkness, spiraling and writhing as if it were alive. From its abyssal center, a shape began to emerge. It wasn't physical, not solid. It was a being of pure energy, a living shadow, shifting and restless. Then, a voice. It didn't come through the comms. It echoed directly inside every mind on the ship, ancient and powerful. "You have been chosen, but the test is not complete." The bridge crew froze, the sheer weight of the presence pressing down on them. This was a force that could command space and time, something far beyond their comprehension. Aria, however, stood her ground. She stepped forward, her voice unwavering. "We passed your trials. We endured your challenges. We proved humanity's strength and resilience." The entity's voice seemed to deepen, resonating with the hum of the cosmos itself. "You proved potential, but potential must be watched, it must be guided." Suddenly, the ship's systems were hijacked. Holographic visions erupted across the bridge, not of data, but of futures. They saw galaxies burning, entire civilizations collapsing into dust, stars winking out one by one. The crew gasped, horrified by the scenes of cosmic destruction flashing before their eyes. Is this the future?" Dr. May whispered, her face pale. The entity pulsed with a dark, ominous light. "Possibilities, threads of fate woven from choice. Your choices will determine which threads are cut and which become reality." The temperature on the bridge plummeted. Systems flickered and died. The ship's hull groaned, the sound of stressed metal echoing like a creature in pain. Aria clenched her fists, her knuckles white. "What do you want from us?" The reply came slowly, deliberately. "To observe, to learn, to see if humanity rises to the occasion, or falls to its own flawed nature." Rios slammed his fist on the console in frustration. "We don't need watchers. We survived your insane trial. We found knowledge. We changed." Aria held up a hand, silencing him. She looked directly at the shifting shadow on the screen. "Humanity has always been watched. We've been judged. We've been underestimated. And every single time we rise, we adapt. If this is another challenge, another test, we will face it." The entity was silent for a long, heavy moment. Then the rift behind it flared with a blinding, brilliant energy that flooded the bridge. "Your true journey has only just begun. We will return when you are ready." With a final, thunderous pulse that vibrated through the Odyssey's very frame, the rift collapsed, folding in on itself until it was gone. Silence returned. The stars glittered peacefully, as if nothing had happened. But the crew was changed. They could feel the weight of the encounter, the burden of a destiny they never asked for. Dr. May's voice was a hushed whisper. "Captain, something is changing. Inside the ship's core systems. It's rewriting code, integrating new protocols. It's like we were marked." Aria took a deep, steadying breath. A fire ignited in her eyes. "Good, let them watch. We'll show them exactly what humanity can do." Just then, a new alert flashed on the main screen. A signal, originating from a system far ahead. It was faint, but clear, rhythmic. It was a call. "Another anomaly?" Rios asked, his voice laced with exhaustion and a hint of fear. Aria stared out at the endless sea of stars, a determined smile playing on her lips. Her voice was steady, resonant with newfound purpose. "No, it's a challenge, and we're going to meet it head-on." The Odyssey's engines roared back to life, their hum now deeper, more powerful. The ship surged forward, accelerating toward the unknown signal. Stars stretched into streaks of light. Humanity's path was no longer a straight line home, but a sprawling, branching map of danger, mystery, and infinite possibility. And somewhere, in the dark void between galaxies, unseen watchers settled in, preparing to witness humanity's next great rise. The Odyssey sailed silently through the silent expanse of deep space, having journeyed far beyond the last known coordinates of the alien structure. On the bridge, Captain Aria Kline stood transfixed, watching distant galaxies paint the void with colors for which humans had no names. Earth, once home, was now just a distant, cherished memory. But the future of its people, her people, stretched farther than anyone could have ever imagined. The profound quiet was gently broken by Dr. May's voice, coming over the internal comms. "Captain, I've finished analyzing the data we collected. It's not just technology, it's more than that, it's a guide. A detailed roadmap for humanity's next great evolution. With this, we could explore entirely new galaxies. We could encounter other advanced civilizations. We could even communicate across vast, impossible distances instantly." Aria nodded slowly, her gaze still fixed on the cosmic tapestry outside. "Yes, I see that. But we must remember that knowledge is not power, unless it is used wisely. Humanity has survived immense tests, countless trials, and even the sting of betrayal. Now we have been given a chance to truly rise, to become something more." Lieutenant Rios, slumped in his chair, was exhausted, but his face was filled with a sense of profound awe. "It feels like we've just been a small part of something so much bigger than ourselves, not just the crew, but all of humanity. It's like the universe just whispered a secret to us. We're not alone anymore." Just then, a soft chime rippled through the bridge. The ship's long-range sensors had picked up a faint, unusual signal from the deep dark ahead. It was unlike anything they had ever encountered. It pulsed slowly, deliberately, almost like a cosmic heartbeat echoing across light years. Aria's brow furrowed. "Another anomaly, Rios?" she asked, her voice sharp with focus. Dr. May, studying her console, shook her head. No, Captain. This is different. There's a clear intelligence behind it, a structure. It feels like someone, or something, is waiting for us to discover it. It feels like a call, an invitation. A fierce glint of determination shone in Aria's eyes. She turned from the viewport, her presence filling the bridge. Then we go. Humanity doesn't back down from the unknown. We've proven ourselves once already, and we will do it again. Whatever lies ahead, we will face it together. A new energy surged through the Odyssey. Its powerful engines roared to life, blazing with brilliant light as the ship surged forward, directly toward the mysterious new signal. Stars that were once distant points of light streaked past the viewport, transforming into lines of brilliant color as the universe seemed to expand in all directions around them. For the very first time in its long history, humanity felt its true place in the cosmos. No longer were they just silent observers, looking up from their small blue world. They were explorers, learners, and active participants in a vast, mysterious, and living universe. And somewhere out there, in the deep dark void, it's possible that unseen entities watched them, their minds filled with curiosity and calculation. The universe had tested humanity, and now it waited patiently to see what they would do next. Would this young, ambitious species rise to the challenge, or would they falter under the immense weight of their own potential? Aria clenched her fists, a quiet, confident smile gracing her face. The universe is enormous, she said almost to herself. It's full of challenges and mysteries, but we are human. We adapt, we survive, and we rise. The Odyssey, a tiny beacon of hope and courage, disappeared into the sea of distant stars. Its journey, humanity's journey, only just beginning. The Anomaly was gone from their sensors, but the universe was far from quiet. Across the cosmos, countless other signals, cosmic puzzles, and profound mysteries awaited. And humanity, now fully awakened from its long slumber, was ready to face them all. The stars stretched on endlessly before them, a blank canvas for infinite adventure. And one thing was now absolutely certain. Humans were no longer small. They were powerful, they were curious, and they were unyielding. The story of humanity was only just beginning. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into the cosmos, be sure to hit that subscribe button and join us for our next adventure.